Hey, what's up? It's Joe back with a new video. This video starts the series whiteboard type coding interview questions. This is just going to be a series I'm going to just start putting into a playlist, and on each version, I'll just have a different interview question that I'll answer and show how I did it. Today, we're going to discuss reversing a string using a for loop, and reversing a string using some built in functions. So before I get started, I want to actually do some mapping in Vim so it's easier for me to run node for this index.js file. So what I'm going to do is just say map comma in to node index.js. So now that I have that map, I can do something like this, save it, and then comma in to run it, and it ran. And also I want to do something else that I do a lot. It's just use log instead of saying console.log. So now I can do something like this again, save it, and then run it. And as you can see, there it is down there. All right, so if you're liking these videos, please subscribe and go ahead and hit that bell to get those notifications so you're not missing out on my latest videos. So back to the question. So you have to reverse a string. Anytime I'm in an interview, I always think it's good to talk out what I'm doing each step. So whoever's interviewing me can hear what I'm doing. They can hear me work through the problem, so they can kind of know where my head is. So if I make a mistake, like a syntax error or something, they can understand, like, okay, he really does understand how to work out the problem. He just made a slight error. So we're fine with that. And it can actually save you in an interview, because you don't want to like be the kind of person that just writes some code, get it wrong, and then it's like, okay, they're not even sure why you got it wrong. And then you're thinking, like, you may not even be sure why you got it wrong. So it's just a way to kind of save you sometimes. So back to the question, reversing the string. So now I'm going to talk my way through it. So if I had to use a for loop, I first need to find a string that I'm going to reverse. So I just call it name. I'll just set it to my last name. I need to get a result that I'm going to first start off with an empty string, and then append to this empty string on each iteration of the loop. And since I'm doing a for loop, I'm going to start it off at let I equals name.length minus 1, I greater than or equal to 0, and then I minus to decrement it, and then just set result plus equals name index of I. And then now that I'm there, I can go ahead and log the result, save it, run it. Yeah, see, I'm already messing up. Let's see, then run it again. I pretty much had the th backwards. So now I have Nimaj Neb, which is my name backwards, I guess. Okay, so how did that work? So basically, I know that these are my index positions for that string. So when I come into the string, I'm going to start off with something like first the result is going to be an empty string, right? And it's going to come in here. So name.length minus 1 is 7, because this string is 8 characters, BENJAMIN, that's 8 characters. And as long as I is greater than or equal to 0, it'll stay in this loop. But once I gets lower than 0, which will be -1, it will not be able to go in this loop, and the loop will be done, and then it'll log the result. So initially it comes in as an empty string, and it's going to say plus n, because name of index 7, which is where it starts, is going to be n, as you can see right here. Okay, so it'll be like something like this, and what that's going to give you is n. Well, actually it's going to say plus equals. Let me just do it right. And what's it going to give you is n. So in the next iteration, you're going to have something like plus equals, well, n plus equals I, because it's going to go down to 6, because 7 gets decremented to 6 with the I minus minus. And then when it gets to here, name of index of 6 is I. And then that's going to give you, it's going to be ni. I guess I should just make this the way it should be. And oops, why can't I type right now? And then on the next iteration, we're going to have ni. I'm going to say plus equals, the next one is m, which is index 5. And then that's going to give you something like this. And just keep going on and on and on until you end up with the NIMAJNEB, nodejs. So you just keep going on and on until you end up with that. So that's pretty much how you would figure that out, or how you would be able to work out that problem. So now let's say, okay, you got part 1 right, but now part 2, I want you to do reverse a string, but I do not want you to use a for loop. I want you to use some built-in functions to, make the code a little bit cleaner and not use this old-fashioned loop, because not many people use this loop anymore. Okay, so how would I do that? First, let me just comment this stuff out. Okay, just leave it there for now. So it's actually, let me just comment all this out. Oops. Let's move that down some. Okay, so we still have the name as Benjamin. So how would I reverse a string without using the for loop? So I think I would, let me talk this out. So I would say name, well, first I guess I should say result. And then I would say name dot, there is no reverse for that, but there is a reverse in an array. But how can I get name to be an array? Because right now name is a string. As you can see, name is a string, but I need to get it as an array. So I can do a split. And the way split works is when you split on an empty string, then it just splits on every character. So what this does, so you can see, is if I save it and run it, my result turns into a string. It turns into an array. Before it was Benjamin, now it's still Benjamin, but now it's an array instead of a string. So now that I have this into an array, I can actually reverse it, because you can reverse an array. And now if I look, it's been reversed. See? And now that it's reversed, to get it back to be a string, I can use the join. And if you join with an empty string, it just puts everything back together and just makes it a string again. So now if I look, it's been put back into a string. And these will probably be some brownie points if you were in an interview and you said, okay, well, I don't even have to use the split. I can do something like this. I can use destructuring with the string and put name here and run it, and then do the comma in. Oops, thought I took split out. And then run it. And you see I have the same result. So how did that work? So this is called destructuring. So basically what it does is taking name, and you put name inside an array, and it's saying take every character in that string and just dump it into this array. So it just turns into an array. So if you want to see what that was, just to make sure you understand what's happening, it's doing this, which is the same thing as I did when I said name.split on the empty string. And so that's basically the way you will reverse a string. And that's really the end of this video. It's going to be pretty short for these type of videos. And until next time,